It first requires admitting the mistake. I mean, right off the start. If you remember after 9/11, Condi Rice said, well, and there's a movie out right now called 9/11 Press for Truth. Has anyone seen it? Anyone? It's actually a pretty good movie. It's a little documentary. It's called 9/11 Press for Truth, and they have all that old footage of Condi Rice saying, well, I don't think anyone would have known that someone would hijack a plane and fly it into a building. Guess what? All kinds of people knew. There had been prior plots. I mean, you start looking at this. Actually, Condi Rice herself had been involved in protection for the G8. They had even exercises along these lines. There had been anyways, there was all, that was one thing. Our FBI director said something for about 3 weeks. He said, well, no one could have prevented 9/11. If we had had any idea, maybe we could have prevented 9/11. If we'd had any inkling of this. And of course, he was actually called on the day of 9/11 about the Moussaoui case. The agents in Minnesota were so worried that the case itself would be covered up. In order to prevent this embarrassment that, that there was a terrorist connection already known, and there are things about this terrorist connection. For instance, our acting supervisor, August 23rd, 24th, in arguing with headquarters to go for this warrant, and the guy was saying, no, we can't do it. Our acting supervisor had said, this is a guy who could fly into the World Trade Center. And that was said in August 2001. Can you imagine how embarrassing this is? And of course, Mueller knows it. He knows that was even said very quickly. Now, and of course, so for 3 weeks, he's saying, well, if we had known, we may have been able to prevent it. I tried to call the director, and this is after 9/11, to get him to stop saying that, because I said, oh my gosh, when this comes out. And I knew there had been emails flying between our office and headquarters. I didn't know there were 70 emails. When our agent testified recently in the Moussaoui case, it comes out there's 60, 70 emails. I knew that the communication that they had tried to seek was several pages long and included a lot of facts. And I knew I knew a lot of the arguments that had taken place, but I didn't know all of it. So when he said that, I tried to call the director's office, and I got to somebody where I know he knew, because he had just been in that office and they would tell him and stuff. And of course, he continued to say it. He continued to say it until the case leaked to the press. And the case leaked to the press. One of our agents, or one of our supervisors, was testifying in Congress, and the press learned of it. I think it was Newsweek, I can't remember. And they started asking him questions of embarrassing things. He was almost caught, again, with this lying thing. He was very close to being caught in outright not telling Congress the truth, because he was going with what he thought he had to say.